friends, so welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you are back, welcome back. Today I'm here with my weekly WIP and Chat. And if you are new, WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat stands for Chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting today and just chatting with you about the week and about life and all the things. And you're welcome to diamond paint too, or do something else crafty, or if you're getting work done around the house, whatever tickles your fancy, or whatever it is the kids are saying nowadays. Let's take a little time to hang out and catch up today. So what am I working with? So I'm working on the museum edition of the Paint Gem sets. I've worded that so weird. Okay, so Paint Gem has these mini sets. They come in boxes. I've unboxed a number of them on my channel, and they're really, really cute. They're these little licensed pieces, or in this case, they're all part of the public domain. But they're these really cute little mini canvases, and they come in sets, usually of 10 or 12. And different themes. And I had decided to pick up the museum edition to work on for Summer with the Masters, which is an event I'm co-hosting. It's actually just about to wrap up. The day that this is going up is going to be the last day, actually, of the event, July 31st. So it's coming to a close. All good things must end. But I'm co-hosting with my friend Anthony from Legoland Placing, and we're just about to wrap up. And to kind of cap off the event, instead of tackling yet another really large canvas, I thought, let me work on one of these Paint Gem mini sets. And this one in particular just fit the theme really well. And I have to say, though, I'm a bit amused by how they translated some of these just by nature of how they had to bring these down to such a small scale. So we have the Mona Lisa, just a couple of dots for eyes, composition monumental, and this one I forget the name of. The Something of Man, I think. And then that's a Klimt. I don't remember the name on this one. And the Scream, I believe is the name of that one. And then, of course, back to the girl with the pearl earring. I kitted up this set with you guys a few weeks ago and actually started on this kit, excuse me. And I just have two left. And I saved the ones that I was, to be honest with you, most looking forward to for last. That's what I tend to do, is save them for last. So the two that are left is, of course, the very kind of quintessential classic Starry Night, and then the Great Wave, so there's just a little bit of a story here. I really love this piece, and I actually think that maybe next summer I may get a custom of one of the other wave pieces, and I'm so incredibly sorry I'm blanking on the artist's name and the style. It's Japanese wood blocks, I believe, but I've seen some really beautiful ones posted in the Diamonds and Emeralds Facebook group lately, like people just kind of sharing the artwork that's caught their eye, and I'd really, really love to do one next year, so that's kind of on my radar. This is a piece that I remembered a few years back when I first started diamond painting. I saw a version of this piece that it was a partial, and it was from Diamond Dots at Home, which is a now out of business brand or branch of Diamond Dots that was done through like direct sales. And Dazzle Driller over on Instagram, who also sadly I haven't seen her active on Instagram in quite some time. I think she's doing okay, but I think she just kind of stepped back from Instagram, but please don't quote me on that. I don't have that direct from her or anything. I just know that I haven't seen her post on her Dazzle Driller profile in quite some time. Anyway, not the point. She worked on a version of this, and I wish I would have picked up that exact version. And I have looked on some third-party sites and haven't been able to find it anywhere. I just really loved the look of it as a partial, and someday maybe I'll track that down. It's a really, really strange kind of piece to be looking for. But anyway, I didn't really want to work on the full version that I know Diamond Dots carries as just part of their regular line at the moment. But I thought that this mini version might scratch the itch. So I have just these two left in the set, and we'll start with Starry Night. And I kitted up with you guys a couple weeks back into this Paint Gem storage system. And it's working out fine. I've had to refill from baggies a couple of times because the jars are pretty small. But, it's worked out okay. Now, here's a fun little set of throwbacks for you. Okay, so I'll start with this first, because you're probably like, what in the actual world is that, Katie? So there's like a little stain or something down here. You guys, this right here is one of the very first 3D printed trays that I bought. I actually went and looked in my order history, and it was on June 15th of 2020. This is from My 3D Designs. I am pretty confident the shop is still active, but I haven't ordered from them in forever, but I'm pretty sure that they're still showing as active in my Etsy favorites list. They're still there when I scroll through it. But I just was really into like the novelty trays when I first started. And of course, this is a dragon, and there were lots of filament options at the time. It was kind of just a set of basic colors, and I love the pink. And what was happening is I was cleaning out my desk drawers, and I was trying to pull out all of my Muni-Made trays in particular, because I was trying to take inventory of what all colors that I had, and I came across this tray and was like, wow, this is just a blast from the past. I probably haven't used this tray since sometime in 2020. How fun would it be to pull out and use on a kid sometime? And it's not a huge tray. It's not exactly super easy and practical to use for multi-placing and stuff like that, at least not in large amounts, but these are such small canvases, I think it's going to work just fine. So there's a throwback tray we're going to use today. I'll dig and I'll see. I don't know if he still has this listing up, but you could pick the colors and pick, I think you could even pick if it was facing to the right or to the left. So anyway, and then this, believe it or not, is a little bit of a throwback in a way, because this is from Swampwood. Hold on a second, I have to cough. Excuse me. This blank and the pen turning itself is from Swampwood, and this is, I suppose, a little bit in honor of my very, very, very first hand-turned diamond painting pen that I bought. Was from a shop that created the pen from a Swampwood blank. So I just, I thought that was fun too. And then we're going to use, this is scented putty that's from Excuse Me Designs. And we're going to use this in my multi-placer today. With summer weather, you guys, you may find that some of your waxes and putties are going to behave differently under high temperatures versus cold temperature. High and cold, those are not opposites. High temperatures versus low temperatures, or hot weather versus cold weather. And so I thought the cap just rolled off into somewhere. We're probably going to hear my cat play with it later. It's fine, I'll get it later. But I thought we would try out. I thought I remembered this one was similar to Sensible by Design and that was a little bit drier, but I'm not sure. And maybe we'll tolerate kind of summer heat a little bit better, but we'll see. And then we're going to use patty wax in my single placer. So let's get this pen loaded up and ready to go. Let's see if we're going to need, is it going to pop in there? There we go. I don't think this is going to need, okay. I don't think that's going to need any washi tape to make it sit snug. Okay, so when I've got putty in this form where it's in a little caddy, sometimes I'll use a flat end of my tweezers to scoop a bit out, especially if I'm wearing press-on nails, which I'm not at the moment. So I'll scoop some out and then kind of just roll it thin. That's going to be too much, I think. I'll roll it, and like you're playing with Play-Doh when you were a kid and you'd roll it out to make it make a worm or whatever. And then I just kind of push it in there. You can use the flat end of your tweezers to do this as well. I'll tell you what, flat end of your tweezers can do a whole heck of a lot of things. No, this putty is softer. I must have been thinking of Sensible by Design as being a putty that's a little bit drier. So we'll see. Hopefully this one's not going to be too soft because of the summer weather. We'll see. Okay, I need a little bit more. I use the flat end of my tweezers for a lot of things, especially if I'm wearing press-on nails. I see often, including this past week, I saw someone post in some Facebook group, I think it was the Diamond Art Club VIP group, about our Elizabeth Ward containers really worth the cost? Are they that great? And I saw a couple of people commenting on there. The reason that specifically that they didn't like Elizabeth Ward's was because they thought that they were too difficult to open. And I didn't at the time because I got distracted or something. I really wanted to go in and comment, have you guys tried just using the flat end of your tweezers to pop open your Elizabeth Ward containers? You don't have to do a thing with your fingernails, and that'll help you kind of break them in over time, and then you will be able to open them by hand a little bit easier. So anyway, that's a tip for you guys if you happen to be struggling with your Elizabeth Ward containers going, but they're painful to open or they're difficult to open. Try using the flat end of your tweezers. You can just pop it into the edge and just... Of course, naturally, I'm talking about this, and I don't have Elizabeth Ward containers with me today to show you as an example, but oh well. That's, is what it is. So, okay, let's get started. So, by the way, I noticed these plastic covers are not reversible. if I had washi tape, I would just grab handy, which it's buried somewhere. I would put a flat piece of washi tape on the side so that I would know, okay, don't put it on the side with the washi tape. But for now, I think we're going to knock on wood. I think it's safe to say we're going to finish this canvas and this WIP and Chat. Watch it be so confetti heavy that it just completely proves me wrong. That's fine. I can eat my words. I can admit when I'm wrong. Wow, it is so different to shake one of these trays. Oh my gosh, novelty trays. But it's so fun. Oh, and you know what? I know I bought stoppers for this tray once upon a time too. Do I know where the stoppers are? Heck no, I do not. But that's okay. So hi, you guys. How are you doing today? I hope that your Monday is wonderful and your week is off to a great start. It's currently Sunday evening. We just said a goodbye to my parents. They've been here for the past week for a visit, and I'll tell you more about that a little bit later in the video here. But they've been here, but they are flying out early tomorrow morning. So we had a wonderful day with them today, and then said goodbye to them a little bit before we put the kids to bed. And now we're just kind of unwinding and relaxing before we get into a new week. I am looking forward to getting through the last two kits in this little paint gem set. I really thoroughly enjoy them, and I know that you obviously have to take that with a grain of salt since I do have an affiliate relationship with Paint Gem. I strive really, really, really hard to give you guys like unbiased thoughts and opinions about different companies, including ones that I do have an affiliate relationship or I have a friendship with or something like that. But some people will just that it's hard to be 100% unbiased. But I do enjoy working on the sets. So I think that this, if I'm reading the numbering system that they use for the unit numbers correctly, this set was actually one of the very, very, very first, if not the very first set that they designed and released. And I don't know if their in-house artist designed this set or not. That's Julia Grishko, and she's the artist who designs the charts for their sets, but I don't know if she was involved with this one or not. But it's a fun little set, and it's fun to think that this was the first one that they made. But yeah, I wonder, it's like, did the renderings, they feel like they improved or not? The colors that they chose and stuff like that. But it's been nice to have these little ones to work on and kind of feel like, oh yay, I'm still finishing kits from time to time. Because I will tell you what, I've been riding the struggle bus a little bit lately. The past couple months in particular, where I just kind of feel like I'm moving very slowly. I'll say relatively slowly, because I acknowledge that my pace of diamond painting and how much time I generally spend diamond painting does look different from a lot of other people's. It's, I know some people think of me as a fast diamond painter, and I'm used to completing diamond paintings at a particular pace. And I have felt like I just generally have been slower. And I think a lot of that is because it's summer break, my kiddos are around, and I'm not only spending more time with them, but even if I do sit down to try to do some diamond painting while they're home, I am getting interrupted a lot more often. I'm certainly not finding much in the way of momentum. And even in the evenings after they go to bed, that has to serve as time that I spend on a lot of different things. And yeah, I feel like diamond painting, it's a mix of I'm not spending as much time on, and even when I do, I feel like I'm moving slower. Granted, I've been working on a lot of large and confetti heavy pieces, and you may very well be sick and tired of me talking about how, I just feel like I'm not getting any projects done. But, I am trying to also just enjoy the process for what it is and not worry so much about getting those finishes in. For the month of July here, I will have, I think 3 finishes. The other kit that I'm working on right now actively is a Diamond Art Club kit called Away From It All. And I have a row and a half left on that one, and I don't think that I'm going to finish that before the end of the month, because it's got enough confetti that I think it's going to take me another day or two past the end of July, which is completely fine. So I think it's going to be 3 finishes, and I'm counting this paint gem set as one finish, like the whole thing, all 10, 12, I think it's 10 of them, as one finish in total. Someone actually asked in our Drills and Chills Facebook group about if the paint gem, any of the paint gem mini sets, if they could use those in some form. And because I know they have a Black Magic set that would absolutely fit the theme. And I had, suggested to our modmin team who's helping me make those decisions, just if it's the whole set, it can count as one. I was like, I don't want just one little canvas, but if someone wants to complete the whole Black Magic set, we otherwise don't really have a size requirement for the event. We just say, like, to be eligible for the grand prize, it has to be a licensed kit. And the grand majority of licensed kits would fit whatever size requirement we would decide to set. So we just decided to forego actually putting a number out there as far as a minimum size. I'm pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure if I would get any backlash about, well, 2 things. I wasn't sure if I would get any backlash again this year about requiring licensed artwork to be eligible for the grand prize, because I did get a little bit of backlash on that last year. And also, I didn't get any backlash on this event requiring a finish. I know most diamond painting events, I think, have moved away from requiring a finished diamond painting in order to be eligible for the grand prize, but that's just an element of Drills and Chills that we've decided to keep. And it's sort of approaching as more like a challenge of sorts. And yeah, but I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if some people would be upset. I did get a couple of people just commenting and saying, I don't think I'll be able to finish a kit. But they were still looking forward to participating. So I thought, well, okay, that's a good attitude. So, but I never know. I never know, like, what I might upset someone about. And I just try to make the best decisions I can. But yeah, it's always bittersweet when an event is coming to a close, like Summer with the Masters is. But also when an event has gone on for 2 months, it feels a little bit like, okay, yeah, I'm glad that we'll get to kind of end things and celebrate, all the projects that people worked on and stuff, and get to kind of move on to the next thing. So event fatigue is certainly a real thing. I feel like this often happens, especially when new crafters discover the craft of diamond painting and discover the community and discover their events. It seems like for a lot of people, and I was one of these people at 100%. So I speak purely from, I suppose, my own experience and what I've observed of others. But it seems like a lot of us go, oh my gosh, there's a community. This is great. And I want to do all the things and be involved in all the things. I'm going to try this kit and that kit, and this is great. And there's events, and then I want to join all the events because I want to be a part of the community, or I want to be involved, and it's cool, like the concept of an event and stuff. And so lots of people get super involved in participating in events and hosting events and stuff like that. And then often people will then get to a point where they go, I am so burned out on events, hosting and or participating in them. And you guys, that's completely fine. That's completely normal. And it's okay to go, okay, I think what I'm going to do is just sort of like take a step back, not worry about trying to participate in all the events. Like, it's okay. Ooh, hold on a second. There were a bunch of diamonds that didn't spill out. That's the other thing with these novelty trays, is there's lots of places for diamonds to hide when you go to try and shake them out. Wow, yeah, this is a blast from the past, you guys. I love it. Okay, we're empty now. Yeah, it's okay. Like, no one's gonna be, well, they shouldn't be. No one's gonna be mad at you if you're like, I'm sorry, like, I just need to not participate in events for the moment, even for friends or something, just because I need a little breather. Or I encourage you to like work on small kits or something like that. So anyway, that's, if you've experienced event burnout, don't feel guilty or feel bad. I think it's completely normal. And the month of August will be it's kind of the little reprieve for me, because I hosted Marvelous May in May, And then Summer with the Masters, June and July. And then I'm hosting Drills and Chills, co-hosting Drills and Chills, September, October. And so the month of August, it's like, okay, I can catch my breath a little bit and have a little breather from hosting events and finish, tie off loose ends related to Summer with the Masters and really gear up for Drills and Chills. So if you missed it, the official announcement video for Drills and Chills did go out last week. I am co-hosting with Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights this year, and I'm really excited about that. We have not hosted an event together. We've done a lot of other fun things in the community together. Like we have a Facebook group together, and we've hosted some live streams together and stuff like that. But we've never done an event together, so that's going to be really fun. I knew that I really thought that I wanted to bring on a co-host for Drills and Chills this year because I did it solo last year, and I'm really glad that I did because I felt like I got to just really embrace running with doing an event on my own, and kind of experimenting with some different things and figuring out what I felt like worked well for me. And it was really fun, but I just feel like, especially with the life stage my kids are in and stuff like that, and and life and everything, that it would maybe be a good idea for me to have a co-host this year, just to get to have someone to work with and share the fun of weekly videos with, so that we each get to have, off weeks and stuff like that, and coordinating with prizes and sponsors and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope it's going to be a fun event that people enjoy participating in. It's crazy to think that it's been going for 5 years. And I was flipping through my Gems Flow app earlier, which is an app that I use to track my diamond paintings. It's really, really handy, and I highly recommend it if you're looking for a way to keep track of your stash and stuff like that. You can track all kinds of information, as little or as much as you want to. And honestly, it's been helpful for things like, did I buy that kit, or did I just think that I bought that kit? So I also find it really handy for when I'm trying to decide what to work on next. Like in this case, I was thinking, what do I want to work on for Drills and Chills? And so I opened up my Gems Flow, and I was just kind of scrolling and making little notes of, okay, I have this kit that will qualify, this kit will qualify, this kit that will qualify, that sort of thing. And it's definitely getting me excited. But I had somewhere I was going with that, and I have to be honest with you, lost my train of thought. But I was just saying, I was scrolling through it, and I'm not sure exactly what I want to work on yet. And I'm curious to see what on-theme releases shops may release in the coming month that I might be like, oh yeah, I want to work on that. So we'll see. There's always lots of fun kits that come out surrounding Halloween and whatnot. But I'll probably do a similar approach to what I did for Summer with the Masters, which is where I'll work on some event-related kits, but then also have some other projects going at the same time, so that I, fingers crossed, avoid the dreaded burnout. So I'll be curious to see what everyone else is working on. Where's the letter C? There it is. And I don't know, someone's gonna have to come help me decide what I want to work on. I don't have a ton of really strictly Halloween kits in my stash. I have a couple of kind of like retired kits, like rainy day kits, that I go, do I want to work on that one, or do I want to save it for a little longer? By the way, the phrase rainy day kits is something that I had come up with probably a couple years back now, that I just use to refer to kits in my stash that have some kind of special meaning, or that I really, really love. For example, there are kits that were really ultimate unicorns of mine that I just spent a really long time tracking down, that are really special to me for that reason. Or there's kits that have artwork that I so strongly resonate with, that I'm saving those kits for a rainy day when I need a pick-me-up, or I want to really celebrate, or I don't want to work on them lightly, I guess. I don't know. It's like I want to save them for when I can fully appreciate the weight of working on them. I don't know. I guess I enjoy, there's no way this doesn't come out wrong. I enjoy delayed gratification about that kind of thing. So Yeah, so my rainy day kits, I don't know, there's probably a dozen or 20. That probably tells you something about the size of my stash. I don't want to talk about it. But I meant to go look and see if they had reached a resolution, if UPS had reached a resolution about the pending potential strike, because I got to get my D-stash together, but I'm not going to attempt to D-stash until like that's got the all clear, because nearly always sending diamond painting kits via UPS is the cheapest way to go. So anyway, stream of consciousness going. But yes, that's kind of what I've been thinking and debating what kits to work on for Drills and Chills. I have plenty that sort of fit the Halloween vibe, but nothing that's really fall, because here's the thing. I am, let's say I'm allergic to landscapes. No, I'm not actually allergic to landscapes. Generally, I don't enjoy working on landscape kits as much. It's usually a mix of something with the color palette and the sheer level of confetti. My general rule of thumb is to stay away from landscapes. My very first year of diamond painting in September, I was participating in Drills and Chills and the Chuck Along, which is a Chuck Pinson themed event. And I decided to work on the kit Space for Reflection, thinking, oh my gosh, this is just a beautiful, cozy fall landscape scene. And I think that was the very first landscape I worked on. And I didn't like it. And I went, oh, maybe I don't like landscapes. I've done a couple other landscapes and cityscapes since then, and it's most of the time it's just not for me. So I don't know. I don't really have any kits that are really fall, like cozy fall themed. I'll have to really dig and see. Do I have anything that would work, or do I want to go do a little bit of shopping, see if something catches my eye that's on theme, maybe like a little snack size kit or something. But yeah, so I noticed that. I was like, man, I have a lot of Halloween-y type kits, but not so much fall, cozy fall vibes. So anyway, I am looking forward to August and being able to purely follow my nose on what kits I want to work on. No events, except for I will join in on ABs in August, but that's not strictly themed. I'm sure that one of the kits I work on in August is going to just naturally fit that theme, which just, you have to have a kit that has a minimum of a certain number of special drills. I'll link to the event hostess's information. It's an Instagram centric event. So anyway, what was I going to say? Okay, let me tell you a little bit more about my parents being in town. It was a really, really nice visit. They got here last Monday. It was later in the day, so we saw them in the evening for dinner, and then they went back to their hotel and crashed. And then we've gotten to do a lot of really fun things. The big thing that we really got to do is that we took the kids to Legoland, California. It was a little bit of a drive, and unfortunately, Adam did have to stay behind because he's been feeling kind of under the weather, as you might be able to hear. So he stayed behind, and we managed to pack us all into one car and drove down. But it was, an hour, 20-minute drive, so it was worth it to be able to, ride in one car, because then we could chat and save on, gas and stuff like that. And we went to Legoland, and it was fun. I've never been. Connor had been once before. Adam had taken him. And so Connor, oops, that diamond kind of fell off the putty there. But I honestly didn't really know what to expect. And from the moment we got there, there were a lot of lines, which is not really at all shocking given that it's summertime and it's vacation season. So of course, lots of people hitting up theme parks and stuff like that. But I'm someone that has spent a lot of time at Disneyland. We had been annual pass holders for a number of years. We haven't since before the big virus in 2020, though it's kind of on the brain that maybe I do want to go back at some point. Honestly, I kind of, some of the magic was lost for me due to some things that happened with COVID, but I've had the chance to go a couple of times since then, and it's been really, really magical, just for like day visits. And I am starting to think like, ooh, maybe we do want to try to save up and get passes again sometime. Anyway, but let me tell you what, no one does efficiency and lines and the whole experience. No one does it like Disneyland does. And we went to Legoland, and frankly, one of my first thoughts was, oh my gosh, this is just so inefficient. I am so used to so many different aspects of this being much more efficient. And I don't know, just more well thought out, I suppose. But I kept trying to, because my parents started to kind of have a little bit of trepidation when they saw the lines just to get through security before we were even in the park itself. And I was just trying, and Connor was kind of complaining, and I just was keeping a really upbeat attitude with everyone, just saying, you guys, we're going to have a great day. This is going to be fine. Yeah, lines to get through security are kind of a bummer, but once we get in there, we're going to have, the chance to do lots of fun things. I was basically trying to be everyone's hype person, and thank goodness I was feeling in a really level place and able to do that. But so we did finally get into the park, and then things kind of dispersed and were a little, it definitely felt a little less claustrophobic. And I had not done a ton of research until the night before, and then I was reading about some of the different rides and highlights, and I was like, maybe I really should try to have a better sense for what this park is going to be like, and what I think, have some goals for areas to head towards for what we think the kids will enjoy and stuff like that. And I was glad I did that much, at least. And I also, we talked ahead of time and thought, we're not going to try to do this and go really hard, go open to close and push everyone. Like, let's follow our noses, follow the kids' leads as far as what they're up for. If they start really just being done, like, we'll take a food break, a snack break. Heck, I had the kids' I'm not going to lie. I had the kids' tablets in my backpack, and I thought, if we need a tablet break, we'll do that. That's fine. I am not above whatever we need to do to make sure that this is just a really relaxed and enjoyable day for everyone. And so, we had, at one point we did do lunch and handed out the tablets just to be like, okay, let's just, everyone regulate, everyone relax. And we had a good day. We probably only did about half the park. And we tried to focus on the areas that we thought both kids would like, and they did. We rode, like Micah was into, there was a carousel. There was a fun helicopter ride where you got to control the height and the direction that it was facing and stuff like that. And there was a boat ride we did towards the end. There was a fun Duplo themed play area that had a choo-choo train that the kids loved riding on. And honestly, we had a good day. I was completely and utterly exhausted at the end of it, particularly because Micah was in rare form. Rare, mischievous, ornery form. At one point, and basically we had 2 adults on Micah at all times, assigned to Micah duty at all times. At one point, Micah had taken off running, and we were kind of, we were waiting for Connor and my mom to get done with a ride that they had gone on that Micah was too small for. And so my dad and I were kind of letting Micah stretch his legs in an area that was kind of open. It had a play structure, but was really open into a splash pad. And then you could, go right into some stores and restaurants and stuff. Micah takes off running for one of the doors, and I thought that he was going to do kind of what he normally does, which is I thought he would walk on the door, he'd run, and as soon as he got into the doorway, he'd see, oh, this is just a restaurant with food, and that he'd just either stop and kind of look around or turn around and come back out. No. He ran in, and he just kept going, and he ended up running back through the kitchen area, and I had taken off running. I was just honestly a few feet behind him, but that kid is fast, and he's little, so he can dart around areas. And so I go running in, and I'm just a few feet behind him. And, but I ran in, and as soon as I get through the doorway, I look and I don't see him. And I caught the eye of someone behind the counter. I said, did my kid run back here? And she pointed, and he'd run all the way through and out the other side, where thankfully my dad was waiting. Like, he saw me go in one entrance and covered the second entrance like a pro. So, caught him, and he thought that was the funniest thing ever. And he was in stinker mood that day for sure. After we finished up at Legoland, we actually were just, 15, 20 minutes from Adam's parents' house, and we had made plans with them to stop by after we finished at Legoland, and had told them, we don't know exactly what time we're going to be done, but we'll keep you posted. I had told them, I imagine that we're going to hit about mid-afternoon, and the kids are just kind of going to be toast. We'll have probably at that point been there for 5-ish hours, and I imagine that's about when we'll be ready to head on out and then head your way. And that's about exactly what happened. So we did. We headed over, and we got there shortly before dinner time. My parents hadn't seen Adam's parents' new house and everything yet because Adam's parents moved out here last summer. And so we got to do a nice visit. I feel really darn lucky that my parents get along with my in-laws so well, and we had just a really, really nice visit, and the kids were happy to have a space where they could kick back and just relax and play and eat, and it was a lot less stimulation and stuff. And Micah has been to their house a number of times before and isn't normally this much of a troublemaker, but his being in ornery mode really continued through the rest of this visit, including this really pretty, like, handcrafted wooden clock that that Adam's parents had, that they had sitting out on the desk. It was, Adam's, I think, uncle or great uncle had made it. He does like woodworking and stuff like that. He had made it, and last time we were there, he gave it to Adam's parents as a gift. Last time we were there, Micah was really enamored with this clock. He generally is, and kept wanting to play with it, and he kept pulling off the plastic cover that was covering the face of the clock. And so in anticipation of Micah coming and wanting to play with the clock, Adam's parents had hidden it in a closet in a back room. Partway through our visit, Micah had gone back into one of the back rooms and all of a sudden walks out, and he's carrying this clock, and he sets it on the desk where it had been at our last visit, and then just looked really proud of himself, and then proceeded to just like look at it and then start to play with it. And we were all cracking up laughing. And Adam's mom was like, that was back like in a closet, like way back. And somehow he knew. It was like he had it. It's like he had a beacon that was calling to him for where this clock was. He went and found, I was like, this isn't going here. I'll fix this. I'll put it where it goes. We were all just very highly amused, and we just made sure that he didn't pull off the cover. But that's really been about par for the course for Micah's shenanigans this past week. But it's been a really, really nice visit with my parents. It's hard to live across the country from family, and so I really cherish these visits, and especially these visits in the summer, which is usually when my dad comes out with my mom as well. We did get a little bit in the way of projects done. He did some painting in the kitchen for me. It was actually just finishing up some work that I had started a couple months back, and it involved some painting above the cupboard. It was kind of an awkward spot. I wasn't going to try to get up on a ladder when my kids were running around and stuff like that, and I just, every time I'd get to the end of the day or something like that, there are just a number of reasons I never got to it. But my dad did it while he was here, and we ended up then being able to move the refrigerator back. Our kitchen has been under construction basically since the beginning of the year. It's a long story, but we'd had some water damage, and it's taking longer than we had anticipated for us to be able to put it all back together. Next step is going to be having someone out to do custom cabinets. We lost a small set of lower cabinets, and then our pantry set of cabinets. And they saved all the doors and the forward, like the faces of the cabinets. And so the custom cabinet person is just going to have to build like the boxes, and then, to the measurements, and then install them, and then put the faces and doors back on. But we're hoping we'll be able to have that done here in the next few months. And be able to put our kitchen really back together. So home construction, home projects are just no fun. No fun. But we took a couple of steps, like I said, while my dad was here. We ended up going ahead and then moving the refrigerator back, which we were waiting to do until we finished the painting. Our refrigerator has been in an awkward spot for a few months, and so now that's back where it belongs. And really all that's left is the cabinet situation. So yay for that. And just yay for family time. So we ate in a lot. We cooked. We're trying to not just eat out like crazy, even when parents are in town and it's a little different to cook for 6 instead of 4. And that's 4 adults instead of 2. So what we did, we meal planned and yep. So except for tonight, we had Chinese tonight and it was delicious. I mean, American Chinese, but you know. What else did we do? Yeah, no, that was kind of it. I was just checking my little, I sometimes make little jot notes for myself because I do struggle to remember things. So notes are my friend. As far as, I've talked a lot about Micah, as far as how Connor's doing, he's enjoying his summer break. We took him back to school shopping. My mom and I took him out this past week, and he got to pick out a new backpack and a new lunchbox. And we had printed out the school supply list for his grade. He's going to be in 3rd grade. What the heck? He's a 3rd grader. And so we took our school supply list to Target. And I'll tell you what, you guys. Okay, so I probably sound like I'm one of those really on it moms. No. Most of the time, the grand majority of the time, 99% of the time, I am not on it. I'm scrambling at the last minute. I'm a disaster. I'm a mess. I think my mom and I were really excited about the idea of taking Connor back to school shopping and him getting to really be a part of that process. And it was also a way to like get him out of the house and stuff like that. So we took him to Target, and it was nice because things were not picked over. There was plenty of selection for all the things. And I actually really thoroughly enjoyed seeing him pick out things, like pick out his backpack, and he had really strong opinions about which backpack he wanted, and strong opinions about which lunchbox he wanted, and having him help with, okay, let's look at your list. It says we need, this thing, let's go find it. Okay, it says we need this thing, let's make sure we go find it. Okay, let's check it off the list. And yeah, so that was fun to do, and I'm glad that that's off my plate. We had taken Micah's school supply list as well, but not Micah, and had Connor help us get the things from Micah's list. So he enjoyed being a helpful helper with that. But I was just commiserating earlier in a Facebook group that I'm in that originated from a message board group that I was in when I was pregnant with Connor. This was 9 years ago at this point, because when I was pregnant with Connor. And it was over on the website The Bump, which I don't even know if they have message boards anymore. That website blew up the message board situation over there completely blew up at one point. And there was this whole mass exodus. Let me tell you what, internet drama is hilarious, and it is in every corner and community of the internet. It's not just diamond painting and crafting. But anyway, ultimately, a bunch of us had made our way over to Facebook. And while the group is not terribly active, we do still occasionally people will post things and stuff like that. Because it's what it is the people that are in that group are all people that were due to give birth in the month that I was too. So it was always broken up by it would be okay, this is October of 2020. This is the birth month board for that. So anyway, I was into that. And so this is a group of moms that have kids that are all roughly Connor's age. Obviously some delivered earlier or whatever. Well, someone posted just yesterday something about so how are you all surviving 8? There was just a lot of commiseration there about oh yes, the shenanigans, and oh the sweetness, but also oh the shenanigans and the things that kids are saying. And it was nice. It was nice to have a space where I was able to go oh my gosh, yes, my kid is calling me bruh, and the struggle to to teach appreciation and kindness and stuff like that. And just for other people to go, oh my gosh, yes, same. It's so hard to teach. You know, how many times am I saying, let's use kind words, let's be kind to others, those kinds of things. And just going, okay, it's not that I'm a bad mom or that I'm just bad at parenting. It's that this is a struggle. This is an age appropriate struggle. And I don't know. I always appreciate that. Someone going, hey, yeah, no, me too. I get you. I'm right there with you. So anyone out there, if you have 8-year-olds too, it's going to be okay. But honestly, as much as this was a little bit of a commiseration post, we also often share about like, oh my gosh, there's this, gosh, 8 is really cool because of this and stuff like that. So there are lots of wonderful things about every age, and there are challenges with every age, and we're all just doing the best we possibly can. That's all we can do. So, so one of the fun things really was we got to go pick out school supplies, and I thoroughly enjoyed his reaction and his delight and his silliness about what he picked out. He really fixated on and was excited about this lightning bolt backpack. And at first I was just really surprised by it. I was kind of pointing out like, oh, they have this cool like space one over here. They have a Spider-Man one. He's like, yeah, no, I like the lightning bolt one. It's like Thor's hammer. And I was like, how do you know who Thor is? You've definitely never seen any of those movies. But I'm sure it's just one of those things that, you know, he's probably come across in reference, like in Roblox or on YouTube or something similar. I think he played he's seen Micah play Avengers Lego Duplo app on his tablet, so maybe that too. Anyway, I was amused. I thought that is so funny that he just is like, oh no, I want the lightning backpack because it's like Thor's hammer. I was like, okay, we can turn you into a Marvel fan. That's fine. So, and then he picked out a Spider-Man. It was an Into the Spider-Verse themed lunchbox, which he hasn't seen Into the Spider-Verse, but he knows Spider-Man. So I was like, yeah, okay, cool, sure. So it's just, you know, I'm enjoying my kiddos. Sometimes they make me feel like I'm going to go gray, and I am going gray. And so I see the streaks. I need to go in and get my hair cut and colored to add a little bit of color in to hide those grays that are coming through. But they're an awful lot of fun as well. As far as what I've got going on, well, this week I've been really enjoying and thrilled about season 2 of Good Omens just released. And you guys, I love this show so much. I have rewatched season 3 a number of times, and there's something about the whole vibe of it that is just, I love it. I love the actors. David Tennant and Michael Sheen are they're great. And their dynamic is fantastic. And don't worry, I won't say any spoilers. We're just 2 episodes in to season 2, and there's 6 episodes in total. Adam asked, he was like, are you okay if we try to stretch it out a little bit? And I was like, if you mean watching 1 episode a night, then yes, I suppose I can stretch it out. But no, you know, he's not wrong. Because who knows if there's going to be a season 3 and or when, but so it's like maybe I should try to stretch out and enjoy season 2 as much as possible. But I've liked the first 2 episodes so far. Liked it a lot, and I will certainly be sad when we finish the season, but I'm also like, what's gonna happen? Are they gonna put these 2 characters together? But it's fun. I enjoy Neil Gaiman in general. I just recently rewatched The Sandman show on Netflix, so I guess I'm just in that sort of mood as far as TV shows go. And that, I think I've seen kind of production photos or not production photos, but people have caught pictures of them filming season 2 of The Sandman, so we know it's coming, but I'm sure it's on hold along with so much else due to the writer's strike and the actor's strike as well. But that'll, you know, we'll get that someday, right? And then as far as what I'm listening to / reading, I'm past the halfway point of the 3rd book in, I almost said Game of Thrones. No, Throne of Glass, the books. It's by Sarah J. Maas, who's the same author for A Court of Thorns and Roses, as well as Crescent City is a slightly lesser known series by her. But I've read those two series and really wanted to get to Throne of Glass as well. But I'll tell you what, I've had a tough time getting into this particular series. It's taken me as long to get through the first 2.5 books as it did to read like the whole Court of Thorns and Roses series. It's tough. The first 2 books were rough for me. I couldn't get into it. But towards the end of the second book, and then certainly into the third book here, it's really drawn me in a lot more. And I am at the point of the third book where I actually actively want to keep going back to it and listening. So I'm hoping that it stays engaging, because my goal was to finish this series before Sarah J. Maas's next book comes out at the beginning of next year. And Throne of Glass is a long book series, and there's a couple of really, really chunky books that I know are coming up. And I just thought, at this rate, it's taking me like multiple months to read some of these shorter initial books. I'm not going to get through this series, and I wasn't feeling myself wanting to reach for them. But I think I'm hoping I have some, I don't know, I hope that the pacing stays the way that it is, and there have been some interesting characters introduced and stuff. So we'll see. And then once I finish this series, I'm probably going to want to reread some of the others, because I don't know, I'm one that doesn't tend to absorb a ton on first reading of a thing or first viewing of a thing. Most of the time I don't absorb all the things. And I really need multiple listens or read-throughs to feel like I've really absorbed a lot more of what's going on. And so, yeah, that'll probably happen. Also, as far as listening goes, I have, of course, been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift, because a week from today, the day this video is going up, is the day that I have tickets to see Taylor Swift in concert. And it's fine. I know that lots of people love to hate her and her music, but I've grown up on that music. There's lots of teenagers out here like, oh my gosh, I'm Taylor's biggest fan. I'm like, no, take several seats. You are new. No, I'm glad that there's lots of people, lots of different age groups that love her music. But Taylor Swift is really close in age to me, and so obviously we're the same person. That's not at all true. But I don't know. I've been listening to her music for 14 years or whatever. So, and this is the first concert of hers that I'll have actually gone to. It's the first really big concert I've ever gone to. And I am beyond excited. This past week, I actually went and shopped for outfits. And I think I have a really fantastically sparkly, sequiny, amazing Lover era-esque dress that I'm going to wear. And I don't wear dresses, but I'll tell you what, this dress, I think it is meant to be. So that's my current plan. But of course, I've just got Taylor Swift on and all her albums on shuffle at this point, just getting ready for that concert. I did decide not to look up the set list ahead of time. She does like a 3.5 hour set with 44 songs, which is insane, by the way. She's ridiculously talented, and I cannot imagine how exhausted she is. But I decided not to look up the set list because I have most of her library memorized. And so I feel confident I'll be able to sing along. And I think I want it to just be a surprise and just be able to enjoy the experience as it's happening. But to say that I'm excited is an understatement. I cannot believe that this is something that I get to do and that I was able to get tickets for retail, like from the website. I was lucky enough to get a code because, man, what they're reselling for is just ridiculous. And so I just am really grateful. I'm going to be up in the nosebleeds, but it's going to be worth it just to be in the room, I think. But yeah, so we'll see. I'll film next week's WIP and Chat before I've gone, but Man, this color has a lot of holes in it. Pulling these. I'm bound and determined to finish this before this WIP and Chat ends, but this is the last color, so it's not going to be an issue. So yeah, that's what's on the brain. And I'm sure I'll tell you all about it. And not next week's WIP and Chat, but the following. Ooh, is that the one that has a tab on it? It's like something's pushing. Which one is it? Is it this one? I can't tell. Let's try putting a new one there and see. It's not like sitting all the way flush. Okay, now that one's fine. And what else is going on? I think that's kind of the main things that are going on. Things look like they may be just sort of generally looking up with life stuff, and you know, I'll share more when I feel a little more comfortable about it. But I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful the second half of the year is going to have some good things happening with family, and that there are just good things to come. I'm powering through the summer heat but enjoying summer with the kiddos and Adam, and having some good family time like with my parents and whatnot. And hard to believe that a month from now the kids will have started the new school year and that they get to go to the same school this year, which is really neat. I mean, I've shared before, but I always have new faces, and I don't want to assume what you do and don't know. But I have 2 kiddos that are in special ed, but that usually means that they get placed at whichever school has the program in our district that has the program that best fits their needs. And I'm excited that they get to go to the same school next year, because that hasn't yet happened. But yeah, Connor will be in 3rd and Michael will be in kinder, and I can't believe how much older my boys are getting. They're like really, really out of the baby toddler phase, and that's bittersweet too. But yeah, so as far as what's coming up this week on the channel, there will be a couple of Diamond Art Club sneak peeks. They posted a couple of previews for a midweek release that's happening. And then I have a weekend release sneak peek as well. And then I feel like I have enough packages piled up to do a small shop haul with you guys. I have some packages I'm really stoked to get into. So I may try to get to that this week. And then next weekend, or this upcoming weekend, we need to nail down the exact details, but Anthony and I had talked, and we're planning to do some kind of video or live stream to wrap up Summer with the Masters and just kind of celebrate and announce the grand prize winners and our last weekly winners, just because of how the timing with that worked out with when entries closed and stuff. So I'll probably have that, and maybe some post reviews and stuff. I also have a lot of unboxings just kind of sitting and waiting for me. And I'm trying out a couple of new shops. I placed a couple of orders this past week from one is a brand new shop to the community, and another is just a new to me shop for diamond paintings. And so I'm excited to have those to share with you hopefully soon. You guys, we finished our little miniature starry night. That's cute. That's really cute for the size, you guys. I really like how that turned out. This might be my favorite of the set so far. I did like this sunflowers or this flowers piece as well, but I think this might be my favorite. So all we have left is the Great Wave, and I'm excited I'll work on this and have it finished before the end of July. So by the end of the day today, if you're watching this the day it goes up, and I'll share these over on Instagram too. I haven't shared all these, but I shared a couple the other day, and I'll definitely share these too because I'm most excited for them. But thank you guys for hanging out with me in my WIP and Chat today. If you made it all the way to the end, how about some sort of emoji with green in it in honor of this? This is a cucumber melon pen, as it's named, by Swampwood. So something green. Anyway, let me know how you were doing and what you were up to today. I hope that you are doing well and taking care of yourself. And if you are dealing with lots of heat like I am, that you are staying cool and drinking your water and staying healthy. But I really appreciate that you took some time to hang out with me today, and I hope that you had a nice time chatting and catching up with me as well. But I'm gonna let you go. You guys, feel free to subscribe if you aren't already, and I'd love to have you here, of course. And have an amazing, amazing week. A week that's as amazing as you are. Okay, I'll talk to you soon, my friends. Bye.